Meeting come to order. Want to do a roll call, please?
Mr. Dakenkolb is absent. Mr. Spence?
Here.
Dr. Ross?
Here.
Administrator?
Present.
Mayor?
Here.
Solicitor is absent. Fiscal officer present. Mrs. Dameron absent. Mr. Maturin?
Here.
Oh, there he is.
Late.
Mr. Merriman.
Here.
You're not.
We're glad you're here.
Okay, we want to stand for a moment, size of pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
approval of the minutes.
I'll put forth the motion to approve the minutes. Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron? Yay. Mr. Maturin?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Person appearing before council. Anybody like to speak today appearing before council? Want to move to the front.
Or to see if any of the ladies want to do that.
Okay. State your name and address.
Ron Kavanaugh, 157 Beechwood Boulevard. Two things, or actually three altogether. I'll make it quick. Can we get the code enforcement officer to check the Beechwood area? A couple residents back there with some extremely high grass. I believe it's, what, 7 inches? Is how high it's supposed to be? It can't
8,
be-
but
Is it 8?
We could get somebody over there. We get an address for me.
Yeah, 233,
2, 3,
300,
300.
and the lot that's next to the intersection of Cross Street and Beechwood Boulevard.
Across the creek.
Two of the lots have campaign signs in them, and that really doesn't look
Is
good
that
for
the
the
one with
person that's running.
The third one is the one with the fill.
Yes.
And it,
Yeah, I guess that's been a problem all year. Winters Drive, is there a tentative date on when they're going to stripe that?
we've been calling them weekly.
Okay, Tuesday morning I went to work. Evidently, the young lady thought it was her whole lane, which I didn't know they made them that wide, but okay. Last thing I got is, where can I find out information as far as when committee meetings are? Such as, are they not open to the public without comment, correct?
They're open to the public and they're advertised, 48 hours before the meeting. And
At what menu, may I ask? In what venue?
The newspaper.
Is that the only place? Is just like the Herald Star?
yeah,
And they would be posted on the door also.
Okay, 48 hours prior to the meeting. Okay, that's on the outside of the door, so you can check it when you first come up, or the second door?
Yeah.
First door.
Okay, that's actually all I had.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Dreamer Kaufman. My son lives at 328 Orchard Place, Wintersville, Ohio. I'm talking about the bus stop at Snyder's. I think it would be better if it would be at where the Ann's Donut Shop used to be at, because it's like the kids is on the highway. I'm scared somebody might end up getting hit, or years ago somebody did get hit and died. A young kid did. It's been years ago. And I think since the donut shop is gone, it's easy access to go in and out, even for the kids. And sometimes Snyder get upset because you're parking in their business lot. So I'm just asking that.
You talking about the bus stop for the Indian Creek?
I think they come from Steubenville too, the bus stop.
Okay, well, you probably have to reach out to Brenda Staffalino. She's the bus coordinator.
Okay.
And talk with her and see if you can maybe rearrange that so that they could be picked up there instead of, we don't want no kids getting hurt. But if you we have no jurisdiction over that, is what I'm saying. But if you
Okay.
get a hold of Brenda Staffalino at the Indian Creek Schools, I think she could probably accommodate you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the reading of the ordinances.
All right, we have a number of ordinances tonight. 2021, 23 is a resolution for the hazardous mitigation plan. It's a for the approval of the hazardous mitigation plan. That's a first read. I don't know if we need,
I don't recall, but I would say we probably should suspend the rules and
Okay.
move it forward.
Motion to suspend the rules?
Second.
No.
So moved.
Second.
Second, okay. Roll call?
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
okay, Resolution 2021-23 is a resolution adopting the hazardous mitigation plan. And we'll have a third read, which is the Resolution 2021-23, a resolution adopting the hazardous mitigation plan.
Motion to approve Resolution 2021-23.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Okay, Resolution 2021-24 is a resolution authorizing Robert Martin Sr., Mayor, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission, state capital improvements and/or local transportation improvement programs, and execute contracts as required.
We need to pass that tonight.
Okay.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Okay, Resolution 2021-24, second read, a resolution authorizing Robert Martin Sr., Mayor, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvements and/or Local Transportation Improvements Program, and to execute contracts as required. Third read, 2021-24, a resolution authorizing Robert Martin Sr., Mayor, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvements and/or Local Transportation Improvements Programs, and execute contracts as required. Third read.
Motion to approve Resolution 2021-24.
Second.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we have two resolutions tonight. These are basically just transferring funds that are required, and they're basically bookkeeping matters, but you think we need these tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we're gonna have, they're just basically overfunded accounts that we had for sewer to move into another account. We don't need the Budget Commission or Jefferson County or a judge or anything. We just need 2/3 majority to pass these. So I think we'd like, Ms. Gianangelo would like these passed tonight, just to help with the accounting matters that go along with that. So we're going to have resolution number 2021-25, which is a resolution to transfer funds from Fund 5209 to Fund 5202. That is a first read. And Mayor, if we could, please have that second and third read tonight.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
All right, second read, resolution number 2021-25, resolution to transfer funds from Fund 5209 to Fund 5202. Resolution number 2021-25, third read, resolution to transfer funds from Fund 5209 to Fund 5202.
Motion to accept Resolution number 2021-25.
Second.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
All right, the final resolution is resolution number 2021-26, which is a resolution to transfer funds from Fund 5211 to Fund 5214. First read, and I think, again, the same motion would be applicable.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Second read, resolution number 2021-26, a resolution to transfer funds from Fund 5211 to Fund 5214. Third read, resolution number 2021-26, resolution to transfer funds from Fund 5211 to Fund 5214. And that was the third read?
Yep.
Yeah.
Motion to approve resolution number 2021-26.
Second. What was the, what's the name of those funds? We got the numbers.
They're sewer,
sewer
52 is
funds?
sewer, yeah.
They're sewer, I
Those
sent
for
you
the
the,
wastewater treatment plant improvement
Okay.
funds.
yeah, and we're moving those into improvement funds, basically.
One's a sewer R&I, I think, and the other one is a sewer improvement fund
Yeah, it's
also.
very technical, legal. Denise had asked me for a legal opinion.
We don't need those funds any longer.
Yeah, we don't need them, so we're transferring over. Basically, we don't need them because they were overfunded for the sewer funds. We're moving them into those other funds so we can use that same money for permanent improvements.
Okay.
So they're just going from sewer funds into another set of sewer funds?
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next,
Go with-
you done?
Yeah, we're
Okay,
good.
yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah, that's it for the resolutions.
Okay, next, reports and announcements, communication. Warrensville Police Department, monies collected from old fines January 16 to September 2021, $1,119.579. And Warrensville Police Department, monies collected from old fines September 2021, total of $205. Warrensville Police report for October 5th, 2021, complaints 98, incoming calls 265, accidents 12, cases 8, alarm calls 18, juvenile cases 8, traffic arrests 28, criminal arrests 3, parking violations 1, vehicle impounds 0, out-of-town assists 9, stolen cars or bikes 0, dog bites 0, missing persons 0, auxiliary 16, K9 use 0. That's the report for the police department. Mayor's court report for the month of October 1, total of $5,506.50. State going to receive $1,250 of that. Others 58. And total revenues for the month, $6,814.50. Tom Straka report for license, $675. Permits, 15 for a total of $450 for a total of $1,125. Okay, now code enforcement report, administrative report, and administrators.
First item on your packet is the Phase 5 update, the final walkthrough. You can see there's 4 items on there. All 4 have been completed. And there is a one-year time that the contractor is still responsible for anything that happens to any of these lift stations. Again, with the yard restoration, they did a little bit extra down there. Several of the residents had some sump pumps in that were causing some issues. We're not going into the drain, just out into the yards and causing some wet spots and eroding the new grass seed that was put down. So that's all been taken care of. It's been tied into the drains, and that project is now complete. Next item, I'd like to request permission to advertise for bids for the tot lot shelter over on Garden Drive. Plans have been submitted to the Department of Commerce. Unfortunately, just for a shelter, $795 fee for them to review the plans and give us a go-ahead to put that, since the public will be underneath that. But we are moving forward with that. We have the majority of the insurance money to cover that. Item 3, repairs to the code officer's vehicle or new vehicle. I'm going to put that in for our budget talks for 2022, see what we want to do with that. Same with the meter project ordinances. Next meeting, I'll be asking you to advertise for bids, and I do want to have a water sewer committee sometime before then to talk about some ordinances we need as part of this new water meter project. Item 5, I have 2 quotes for the front lobby safety door and wall construction at the water office, $6,200 and $6,400. I would recommend they're similar. We go with the low quote, $6,200 with Doug Freshwater Contracting.
Motion?
I make a motion. That was for a total of $6,200.
Correct.
Okay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Cameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Same with item number 6. We're going to skip renting the dozer. Personnel, we're just short right now with Public Works Superintendent being off, and that's just not going to work out. You passed one resolution tonight for the Moon Valley Waterline Project. I also had our consulting engineer, W. Quixel, apply to the Department of Development for a $1 million grant for that same project for the money that the governor put into this for the water systems of part of this federal fund. So supposedly from that, they're supposed to turn around and give you an answer within 45 days. So we applied for this project last year. We did not get it funded, but we got the water meter project funded. We still have water line breaks over in the Moon Valley area. And so we're trying to get that taken care of. It's approximately about a $1.4 million project to replace all the lines, hydrants, valves, and then resurface the roads. Also like approval to do an emergency water line project replacement on Dana Lynn. Border Patrol, $45,500. We've had several breaks in the same area between Parkview and Susan. Unfortunately, one of the homeowners is below the road, and I believe it's flooded him twice.
Yeah. 3 times.
This last break, we had to replace a 53-inch piece of line, and it was split 53 inches. It looks like when it was put in, at least the section that we had dug up, when they put it in, they must have tamped it in with a backhoe with teeth, and there was a groove all along the top of the pipe, and that's where it split. So we've had several issues over there on Dana Lynn, and I'd like to get approval for this emergency project. It'll be paid for from our COVID funds that we received half this year, $192,000 and some dollars, and we'll get another $192,000 next year.
When did it go in, Walt? When did the?
Everything here went in the late 50s, early 60s. The water tank was put in the late 50s, and the lines came immediately after that. So it's useful life, 60 years.
I would say.
That's going to be, we're going to start on that as soon as possible.
Yes, as soon as they can get with the pipe.
Need a motion?
Yep, there you go. Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Cameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Okay, 2 other items I have not on your list, just from a complaint at the last meeting. We'll be ditching Luray Drive next week. They called in for the locates today. It's supposed to be dry all of next week, so we'll attempt to get that done. There's it's a bad side, that side of the ditch opposite the fire department, the Columbia Gas, and the post office. There's a phone cable in there, and it's very shallow. There's a rock bottom, but we've ditched it before, so that's on the agenda for next year. Last item I have, we're starting to plan for the Christmas parade. We have the tree lighting. We have some hot chocolate here. We have $5,000 in the community events fund that we did not spend because of not having the fireworks. I'd like to suggest the committee look at prizes for the bands and the floats. We have some different people working on the committee this year, and we're trying to make it a larger and nicer parade for this $5,000 to go to help some of them out, and then to pay a little bit for some hot chocolate, maybe some cookies for the kids during the tree lighting ceremony.
What committee's involved in that?
It'd be a special committee that Mr. Merriman
Merriman's
and
volunteered.
Tammy are volunteering, but there's some additional help to that.
Tammy and I would like all council people to come out and help, if you can.
Well, and to expand on that, I talked to some of the people in the community, so we have some outside help I've been working on for you, Mr. Merriman, so you're going to be able to have a sufficient amount of help this year to put that off. Okay, so.
I'd like to hear that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you have a date for this yet?
It's always the first Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Day after the Michigan game, man.
Oh, you'd be in bad shape. You can miss that. Okay.
I'll be there in spirit.
Also, we'd like to bring up about the Halloween party.
Oh, yeah, about the Halloween party, this is what I want to put this to the council. Normally, we have ours on the 31st as traditional, as we've done in the past. Steubenville and a couple of other communities are having theirs on the 20th. So
30th.
on the 30th, excuse me.
Saturday.
On a Saturday. So what we're planning on doing, having the Halloween party, not over at the school this year. We want to have the kids come here after they do their trick or treating. We'll set up outside or set up, if it's raining, we'll set up in here so we could give them bags of candy that we have downstairs so they won't miss out on the party. The party, with the COVID thing, we just took under advisement. We didn't want to put the kids under that, so we just decided we're going to have something small for them come through here, but still have Halloween. So it's up to council. You just got to pick what day you want to do this. You want to stay traditional 31st, or you want to do it on the 30th.
I would recommend try to do when everybody else is doing theirs on a Saturday.
I agree.
I mean, it's just
Okay. Well,
suggestion. Anybody else got suggestions? I mean,
anybody
it's on the
else?
floor.
About you, Mr. Matter?
No, I'm with you guys.
What about you, Ms. Hammond?
30th is fine.
Okay, Mr. Ross. Okay, then we're going to have it on the Saturday, the 30th, so the news can put that out there. It's going to be the 30th of October. We'll have the Halloween, and then after that, we'll 5:30 to 7:30, and then after that, they can come up here at anywhere between 6:30. They can start coming up here to get their candy passed out to them, either be out front, or if it's raining, then they'll be up in the council chambers. What they'll do, they'll come through that door and out that door. Okay? All right. Okay, unfinished business.
Do we have a couple questions for the administrator?
Sure.
When you said that that Meadow Tot lot is the monkey set, the thing you climb all over, is that just thrown over there? Did they pull that out? Have you seen that?
That came from Indian Creek, the middle
So
school.
is that where it is?
Yeah.
I thought we was putting it back here. Okay.
There are some
What?
other things back here also, and there's more to come.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we just,
All right.
what I did, Indian Creek gave us 3 pieces. We brought one here,
Okay.
one at the Locust, and one over at Garden.
All right, sounds good.
Just trying to be fair and split it up.
Yeah. The a couple other things, and I should talk to you early. Robbie Barker behind the dance studio on Winters, he was collecting some rainwater coming off the pavement down there. Did we curb that
We
up
know
for him?
about that. I don't know if we got the curb in yet.
So it's on the list, and we can get to it.
Vern knows about it, yes.
Okay. And we also talked about the drainage issue between Karen and Terrace. I see where you may have talked to Brandon regarding the mitigation plan a little bit. Did we got anything set for next spring or anything on that with
Not
Brandon?
yet. I haven't got with Brandon any further
Yeah.
because there may be several EPA and Corps of Engineer permits we
yep.
may need.
Yeah.
So we're going slowly on that.
Yeah, definitely through Brandon. There's a lot of things we can do. There's some things we absolutely cannot do. And there's some things we can do, but you got to advise the Army Corps of Engineers or the DEP.
Well, the other
or
item is,
whatever.
I'm not even sure we have a right-of-way for that.
Yeah. So we got something in motion. Just make sure it's on the schedule for next year. I know we can't do it now, but it'd be nice to have it running.
This is the one back behind the houses that we talked about earlier.
Right,
Yes.
behind
Okay.
Terrace and off of, yeah. There was also like a tree with a rope and one electrical line hung on outside of Jamworth. Did we?
I
get
have EPA, AEP, I got to get these letters right. I think it has to be above 25 foot or something, we're working with either Ovico or TS Electric to get their bucket truck over here and make that connection. That's, I don't mean to speak disparagingly, but Mr. Molinaro did that
Yeah.
like 30 years ago, and when they cut down all those trees, it was like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Perry knew that, and
Well, that's a
we're
good
waiting
job.
for one of them to come and
It's a 30-year hit.
rehook
Yeah,
it.
good job. It's still hanging,
for
right?
30 years.
And the boosters, Indian Creek boosters, a couple of members approached me. Do we ever find flags or brackets for them?
We
poles
do
or
not
something?
have them.
I didn't think so.
We had kept the flags in the past, in the brackets, when Mr. Coppa and his son were in
Yep.
charge. The new people have not been communicating with Vern nor Perry, and the flags were fairly tattered the last batch we had, and they were supposed to get new flags.
They got
And
new flags. They
we-
just don't have poles and brackets. Is
Yeah,
what
we
they're
do.
after. So okay. And the last one I got is winter's just around the corner. Salt bin all ready to roll. You got that on order.
We haven't ordered yet. We have enough for several storms, probably early November.
Last year, the first time they ran the trucks, the spreaders needed PM'd, and I mean, it was just dumped. It wasn't even spread. Can we make sure we get on that?
Yeah,
as
they
soon as-
check them every year, but sometimes they don't
Yeah, right.
check the knob
Yeah,
that
okay.
sets the rate.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I got one for you.
Yes.
Last month, we had an ordinance 2021-18 to put that 2008 Chevy Tahoe up for sale. Why can't we think about using that for the code enforcement guy instead of buying a new vehicle?
The last, and I'm not going to speak because I don't know about the vehicle, but the last vehicle we got was from the police department, and it has a ton of issues now, mechanical issues, no AC, something else with the transmission, I think. And I'm not saying anything bad about that. I know they're getting rid of it. That's why I want to wait for this,
Okay.
for the budget to talk.
I don't know what kind of shape that's in, but I
Yeah,
thought that
I
would be
don't either,
a
but
nice
we-
swap instead of buying something.
Chief may already have it sold, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Okay, I guess we jumped around a little bit. That's unfinished business. Okay, new business, any new business?
I got something, old business on the wall on Parkview. Now, are we going to have money set aside for that when something does happen? Because I spoke to the resident who was there, and we walked the property. He showed me the pins, and the wall's not close. And we sat down and had a conversation, and it's been going on for a
The
while.
wall's within 6 feet or 8 foot, and I don't know how far the tiebacks go in. The tiebacks are very likely on his property, but I'm not, I'm still with Mr. Becker that it's not our problem, it's not our wall, it's not our responsibility. If it falls in, it's just a simple matter of maintenance to get the trucks out there and the backhoe or the track hoe lift up what's there and haul it away.
Okay, so
That's, I'm going with his advice.
Yeah, and I've given a number of opinions on this, and I will reiterate again. We don't own it. We didn't build it. It's. Yeah.
I know this whole, the whole
Right,
story.
right.
I'm
And,
just-
yeah. So if it falls, and excuse me, and this is sort of Walt's bailiwick, and I think Walt and I have discussed this. If it falls into the road, we're going to clean the road so people can get in and out of there, and I don't think that's going to be a astronomical number. I mean, we'll get whatever we got to do to clear the road out, and that's going to be minimal compared to doing something that we're not legally obligated to do, to go in there and take care of that property, or to maybe even have that house fall down or structural damage, but we're responsibility to clear the road. So if something happens and that wall falls into the road, we will clear the road, get it open for transportation within, a day or two, or, whatever it takes.
The only unanticipated cost may be disposal of the railroad ties,
right,
because
yeah.
they contain creosote, and I've reached out to Brandon Andreessen about that too, to see, there may be some railroads that'll take them, we just can't take those to a landfill.
Yeah, the railroad ties are probably the biggest issue, but the rest of it's probably just dirt.
Just dirt and gravel,
And
supposedly,
we'll get it
yeah.
out of there, and we'll get the road clear.
So then we're just going to wait till it gets pursued if the wall falls to see who owns it.
No,
And that's not even an issue.
That's not even an issue.
I have been conversations with Mr. Bates, and I don't want to discuss that here about what that conversation I've been having with him, but it's been some negotiation with him, so I don't want to get too carried away with this wall thing tonight, so it will resolve itself at a later date, so we want to move on.
Okay. So we have the money in case something happens. That was my original question.
Yeah, it's just going to be just labor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I got one more old business. This was for Bob. Last month, we talked about finance meeting for the redistribution of the money for the police department for the all other officers. And is there anything, when we're going to have that meeting to decide to push that forward with that?
We're gonna have to wait till budget time.
Well, the money's already approved, though.
No.
And they're not asking for anything more.
The money's already approved because the money came from an already existing police officer.
Still
And
has to be
he's,
going, that has to go through the finance, it has to,
It's going to be discussed with the finance department and administrator and our clerk to decide how they're going to do that and make sure that the money that's going to be redistributed, it's not going to be any kind of 2 years from now that they're going to have to go into the general budget to reallocate that money, dollars back out. So I had talked about that with the chief already. And I told him when the clerk and the administrator get together and they choose to do that at finance. So when that finance meeting happens, then that's when that'll happen.
is the finance meeting on the books, or are you just going to?
This finance meeting not on the book until Mr. Merriman puts it on the book.
That's all I'm asking.
last time Art and I, we tried to get together, we couldn't get together to have the meeting.
Okay.
It's just between.
I just want to know because we're
trying
coming to the end of the year and
I'll
stuff.
call you, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Finance meeting, I call everybody, so
All right.
make sure everybody knows ahead of time.
Sounds good.
So I'll get with Art, we'll get it as soon as we can.
I have one question.
Yes.
Is there any update on the injunction or the information regarding the
I can't hear what you're saying.
the injunction for the Airbnb on Guard?
I've not gotten any statements from anyone yet. I don't know where that stands at. I don't have any.
I think the chief got some.
Okay, I'll talk to the chief after maybe the meeting, but I've not seen anything yet.
The house is pending sale right now.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. it's
That may solve a lot of
Right.
problems.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
maybe that's where we're at. But yeah, I was waiting for some statements, written statements. I was actually going to try and get some affidavits to put in a complaint, but I was told. I think Jason actually contacted me this week or last week and advised me that the house is under. I didn't even know it was pending. I know it was up for sale, and I think that's news to me.
Yeah.
So that may alleviate a lot of problems down there.
Chris, along the same lines here, it's probably pretty appropriate that we go ahead and review those ordinances, like 1157-01-07. These were written in 1996, so a few things have changed since 96.
We had this discussion by either email or phone call or
Yeah.
text or all three. I would strongly suggest that council, maybe at an ordinance committee, and I'm not even sure who's on the
He's
ordinance
Jason's
committee.
chair.
There are a number of issues, and I think with particular respect to this house, and I'm not saying this is throughout the village, but with this house, I think we would be okay pursuing a action, not so much that it's a business, because that's a little nebulous, but I think single-family homes, when you have more than one person staying there, because we certainly do have rentals in R1 developments, which obviously if you want to get right down to it, that's a business if you rent it. But there may need to be an ordinance committee meeting where we sit down and discuss, hey, let's tighten these up a little bit, given I don't think 30 years ago, whoever wrote that ordinance,
Right.
it wasn't me, but whoever wrote these ordinances could foresee Airbnbs and verbos and those kind of things. Do we want to look at, hey, that's a income to the village and start taxing them and permitting them like we do anything else? Or do you want to tighten up those ordinances to say, hey, listen, there is no rental properties allowed, short-term rental properties, that's the key. short-term rental properties with multi-persons or multi-families in the village. That's an approach that the city of Canton has taken, and I think it's been pretty effective. But you look at other municipalities, Cincinnati, Columbus, bigger municipalities have used that as a source of income and said, fine, you can have these, but you have to be licensed, you have to be inspected, you have to do this, and there's taxes involved. So it's sort of council's decision how we want to tighten those up. Obviously, things change in 30 years. The ordinances we have may not be strong enough to address what may or may not be a problem that we foresee here in the village. So I'm going to leave that up to council. I'll be happy to participate in that.
The one thing I had written down here said, is it possible to clearly define a short-term rental use?
Yes,
And expressly prohibit this kind of activity?
That is absolutely
And then how well does
possible.
it do in the court?
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
so I think I got your opinion verbally here on what we could and could not do. Could you draft something like that?
Either
Just
way,
for-
or are you
yeah.
talking about short-term,
Well, the
prohibiting
short-term.
short-term? Yeah.
Yeah, do that, and then we
Yeah.
can have, you think you can have it ready in 2 weeks?
30 days.
30
Give me
days?
30 days, yeah. Give me
Okay, then
30
we can
days.
Yeah, it would be
do
30
that,
days where we meet
and
again,
then,
No, absolutely, I
There,
can do
there
that.
is some information, excuse me for interrupting, there is some information out there also in regards to any personal services that are provided at an Airbnb or particular rental would constitute that they are an operating business. And it is my understanding that this particular location has been providing personal services.
I don't know what you mean by personal service. I hope it's not.
Preparing food, transportation, entertainment, things like that.
Yeah, and again, that's one of the hindrances to what, I don't know that. If we go to court, I'm gonna need to know eyewitnesses, documentation to prove that. I mean, I know we all sort of hear and think we know what's going on there, but I have to go, if we pursue any legal action, and I think, as Councilman Spence has indicated, this may resolve itself because the property may, you said it's under contract. But for future reference, I have to know what's going on there. We have to, it's our burden. We have to prove that those things are going on. So whether you hear something or maybe heard, we got to get
received
witnesses, yeah.
We've received emails. All of us on council have received emails.
Well, that's, okay. Again, this is the difficulty. I could send you an email and say, you know, so-and-so killed somebody. Is that proof?
With pictures.
Okay, when were those, and that's what I'm driving at. When were those pictures taken? Who took them? What was there? What was going on? I have pictures. I have lots of pictures. I think Mr. Mattern sent me pictures. I think everybody sent me pictures. I don't know who took them. I don't know how I'm going to authenticate them when I go into court. Who took these? What date were they taken? What do they depict? You know, what's going on here? I mean, I can take a picture of this room. There's a lot of people here. Okay, what does that prove? Okay. So that's, from a legal standpoint, I got to know what's going on, who took them, when they took them, what they saw, what they observed, what was going on.
Okay.
The fact finding in the statements, they were just done over the weekend.
Okay.
I'm pretty positive, so I'm sure that we've got a good bit of them gathered and brought on over. So
Okay, I've not been emailed or seen anything, and like I said, the other thing is, and I just found out obviously tonight, is Councilman Spence is telling me it may be under contract, so it may kind of resolve itself. But I genuinely agree with you, Councilman Mattern, that genuinely we ought to look and council ought to get together. How do you want to handle this? Do you want to limit short-term rentals and short terms defined as a week, 10 days, whatever you want to define that as? Because obviously we have R1s that are month to month, maybe 6 months. I don't know what they're doing there, but they're clearly short-term, or I mean, I'm sorry, they're clearly rental properties in R1 districts that are, you know, whether they're year to year, month to month, 6 months, whatever they are. So we've got to figure out as a legislative body and as an organization what we want to do to limit those.
See you in 30 days.
I will. Well, is that you're definitely? I mean, are you telling me, and is council telling me to proceed to limit I mean, what's the number? 10 days, 7 days, 3 days?
Well, see what the options are. If you bring
Okay.
us something to read with that line blank,
Okay.
we would be able to discuss it in
Okay.
the ordinance meeting.
All right.
And then move on through.
All right,
And then we would
and
have a
I will
recommendation.
have that for you probably within the next,
Typically
2,
a
3
weekend
weeks.
days. for
Okay,
that.
what?
you said a week to 10 days?
Wait, no, weekend days, like a few days. You know, not-
I don't even want to go that far.
All right,
One that, let's limit that, because I don't even want these businesses to just even start in these neighborhoods. So I'm with Mrs. Gail Dameron over there. Once you start weekend, then next it's going to extend to a week, and then in 2 weeks, we need to stop before it gets started.
okay.
So just get back.
All right, well, I will definitely get something to you because during the course of this, in the last 60 days or so, believe me, I've become kind of an expert.
No, that's good. Anything else, Mr. Dameron?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is new business, right? I'm gonna
No, it's
bring
not new
something-
business
This
yet.
old- Oh,
They're
okay.
still in old business. Everybody,
We're still old business.
anybody else got anything in old business? Okay, let's move on to new business.
Since,
Mr. Merriman, you got new business?
No, I was just bringing, how's your schedule for Tuesday? Should be good. Okay, we'll try to have a finance meeting Tuesday. I'll get hold of everybody, see what time we can do this, make sure Walt and Denise can be there. And we'll shoot for Tuesday for a finance meeting.
okay, sounds good.
Mr. Matter?
Thank
If
you.
we have it for Tuesday, then we're gonna have to, we got a 48-hour notice we have to put out. Tomorrow's Friday, and you got a holiday on Monday, so you're gonna probably have to push that to Wednesday.
Can't
do it Wednesday.
Wednesday and Thursday, I'm out.
So you got, in order to advertise correctly, that's what you're gonna have to do, so you're gonna have to move it to another date.
Or put it in for Saturday announcement for Tuesday. However, you can
Well,
figure
if we
it
put
out.
it in tomorrow and Saturday.
Is Tammy here tomorrow?
Yeah, Tammy's here tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll get it in tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that okay with you, Denise? Tuesday?
Yeah, I have another
Well-
council meeting that I'll.
Oh, she got another council meeting.
That's all right, we'll go over the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Tuesday, finance meeting, mark that down. What time?
6?
That works.
6 o'clock for you, Denise? What time's best for you?
I have another council meeting that evening, but I'll just not go to
What
that
time?
council meeting. That meeting's at 6:30. That's okay.
Unless you want to make it at 5, so that you can get their meeting at 6:30.
Just go with it. I'll be all right.
Okay,
Sure?
Tuesday at 6.
I'll work it out.
Tuesday at 6. Okay, Mr. Mattern. New business.
New business. Yeah, I wanted to bring up that we had that meeting for the audit results with Denise and the auditors, and it was in the process of being certified. I don't know if it's been certified or not, so there's, you got to do things in executive session, but I'm pretty confident we're going to get a clean opinion, and that's good for the audit. The audit was triggered by the CARES Fund. We received over $750,000 from the CARES Fund, and that triggered that audit. And there was no weaknesses, no real findings, and it seemed like dotting the i's, crossing the t's. Really, Denise worked well with the auditors worked well with her, so went real good. I thought that was a nice little outing, nice little event there. Jefferson County Regional Planning, the mitigation plan was brought up. I ran to Brandon and Dreesen. Also, there's a new round of CDBG money coming on up. So if you have anything, Walt, get it going. They did pass out a low-income survey map, and we're not really fall under that. So if there is any project involved that may be covered, we have to go out and do the income surveys. And the last thing that happened at the regional planning was the Port Authority has a position that needed filled, and it can't be done by elected officials. So if you guys want to nominate Lockhart for something else, you can always have Bob on down there for that.
Tina
on
and
the-
Charlene.
yeah,
We'll put them out there.
I talked earlier about the salt. It might be nice to put a note on one of the upcoming notes of the bills, water and sewer bills going out, that maybe the parking ordinances, a refresher on that. I know last year we ended on a little rough note with parking on that. I think it'd be a nice reminder. At this time, I also want to acknowledge the residents over on Garden Drive over this issue. They really handled the situation well. I talked to several residents. They were kind, they were understanding, they was patient, communicative. They didn't yell at you, didn't scream at you. And it's a true honor to do something like that for people like, who treat you like a human. And sometimes you just get screamed at and yelled at up here. So I got to thank the residents over there for that. There was also a bridal shower over there, and I got 2 phone calls. Well, we don't want nothing done to the bridal shower. They were concerned that they was going to ruin that lady's special day, and that all them residents over there handled this well, and they're doing a service for the entire village, not just for Garden Drive, but it's an area of concern that now council has to get moving on making this right for all of the neighborhoods in Wintersville. So I just wanted to make that up, say that. Bob Lockhart should have gone to the 7 ranges. I was unavailable to go to the last 7 ranges, but I do know that they was talking about the Wintersville Fire Department and the training center they have going over there. We they named it after a guy named Gary Fellows, who is spoke upon very highly in every meeting I go over there. 7 ranges is New Alley, Hillendale, Belvedere. It's also Brilliant, and of course Wintersville, and they have nothing but high praise for Gary Fellows, and he named that center over there for him. And it was really nice to be part of and see this develop from the beginning. We got to see it as a member of the 7 ranges and through the village appointment here. You got to see it come from the idea to the thought stage to, hey, we're getting funding for it. Hey, we got a grant, and hey, the grant falls through, but hey, we got this going, and it's really come to fruition where they can train many local firefighters rather than have them cross half the state to go get trained. You can enhance the local firefighter skills to protect the public, and it's not just our community, it's all the surrounding communities as well. So this is an excellent opportunity to certify, get some real-life training. They can train on hazmat, confined space, a car catching on fire. If you ever get on WintersvilleFire.com, it's absolutely excellent. I do know that we donated some money to them guys from our CARES package. I don't exactly know how much it was. Do you know how much that was?
It was probably
7?
Was 70?
7,000?
I think it was a little bit more than that. I think it was like 70,000.
70,000.
But, we got that money donated, so we donated 70,000 to the first responders. Donate's not the right word, but we funneled our monies through there. And that's how we support first responders and this community moving on in here. And I'd also be remiss if I didn't say something about how we support the police department as well. I see a nice contingent out here tonight. Listen, over the last 16 years, we've given raises to these guys between 2 and 5%. That's supporting these guys a good bit. In the last 16 years, we've done that. Longevities, years of service adjustments we just did a couple of years ago for 4 key employees over there. Rate of adjustments for new hires we've played around with and moved those around as well. Payroll increases of 13%, or approximately $45,000 over the years that we've been here. The village package, the village benefit package for the whole village is $1.9 million in the fiscal year 2020. And each one of the employees here in Wintersville have 100% full benefits, and that's a nice expense. That's a nice expense. We also support this police department and the first responders when it comes to canines and use of the trainings, DARE programs, national prescription buybacks, and 4 new vehicles. Now, we've done that and supported these guys, but we still have some more work to do. We still have some work to do with all the employees here at the village, and I just want to make sure that's on the record as well. Last thing I got is well wishes to Perry Poole. Want to make sure he's doing well. He's in our thoughts. And also like to wish all the candidates good luck in the upcoming election. Thank you.
Okay. Mrs. Dameron, you have anything?
I just want to wish everybody good luck in the upcoming election, and again, prayers for Harry.
Okay. See you now.
Nothing, sir.
I have nothing, sir.
good luck for everyone that's running in November.
Okay.
We were talking about ordinances earlier. I've talked to a few councilmen at different villages, and I liked the idea. We talked about political signs to where everyone has them. They're out there. My big head signs are out there also. But they limit theirs to a month. Like you go out there October 2nd, put your signs up, and then you take them down. When we have signs out there that are out there for a month and a half, 2 months, 2.5 months, the weather gets after them, the wind blows them, they work loose in the ground. So I'd like to throw something out to council. At the ordinance meeting, we sit there and talk about maybe tightening up the political signs along the roads and stuff into a month to keep the city cleaner.
We'll do it in 30 days. We'll see.
Yeah.
Bring an opinion on that.
Yeah, I will,
I agree with you. on limiting it.
I will look into
'Cause
that.
it keeps-
I think that's a good idea. There's some issues about political speech and, I don't know if anyone's noticed or not, but I travel around the state quite a bit and I see quite a bit of 2020 political signs still up.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
kind of a free speech thing, but I'll look into it. But I don't
Okay.
know how well you're going to be able to limit that.
Right. I don't know how it's enforced yet.
Well,
Right, yeah, the enforcement's going to be the problem.
well, they have that in Steubenville. You're only going to have.
Mingo has it.
Mingo has it too.
Yeah.
So that is in process. But yeah, that's a good idea, Randy. That's good.
Are you
Thank you.
talking
I
just
thought there
on
was
the
something-
streets or
No,
yards
no,
also?
political signs in general.
I don't think you could do
It's
anything.
not in yards, but you
Yeah,
can do
I was gonna say,
streets.
yeah.
Streets you
Just
can, but not
streets,
yards.
yeah.
Private property. you
Just
can't.
something to clean it up because it gets to be an eyesore.
I will, I think Walt's
Something that said
got
they would take them down.
where I'm coming from. The right-of-ways, yes, absolutely, if you put them in right-of-ways, but if I have my house and I want to put up a
But yeah, I understand
A or
that
B
part.
candidate,
Right.
I can keep that
Yeah.
sign up for as long as I want.
Because on our right-of-ways, our guys have to mow, so they gotta move the
Right,
signs.
right.
It gets later in the year, the grass grows
Right,
up,
yeah,
and it just looks
that's
terrible.
definitely something we can do as a right-of-ways. I can definitely get you an ordinance that non-right-of-way, or I'm sorry, within the village's right-of-ways, we can take those down or remove them or whatever, but in terms of my house or
Right,
your
that's
house or
different.
whatever, I can put up whoever I want to support, and it can stay up 365/7, 24/7.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
And good luck to everybody running.
Chief.
All right, I got a few things. I'll start with the Tahoe. The reason we're getting rid of it is it's got a misfire in one of the cylinders. Mechanic says it could go, the motor can go in 5 miles or 100,000 miles. For
Okay.
us,
Hey, excuse me. Did you sell the car yet?
bidding it closes
You
tomorrow.
on TV? You on TV?
No, we advertise it because we're not
Okay,
gonna.
all right, make sure, I just want
Yeah,
to make
no,
sure.
no, we advertise it that way.
Okay.
And everybody that comes looks at it has been
Okay.
told that as well. Bidding does close tomorrow at 3, sealed bids, and we'll open them up probably around 3:30 or so tomorrow.
Okay.
We already have 2 for it, but that's the reason we're getting rid of it.
Okay. Thank you for the explanation.
Absolutely. Second, I need council's approval to bring on an auxiliary officer by the name of Sean Mcginnis. He's a 2011 graduate of Indian Creek High School. He just graduated the police academy. So far in his background investigation and other tests we've been sending him for, everything's coming back positive. He is not here, but I would like council's approval to bring him on auxiliary.
So moved. Let's.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Okay, next, our shredder finally broke after about 20 years downstairs. We've been on borrowed time for the last 5 years as the people who maintained it said it's too old. We do need it in a bad way because of all the sensitive information, leads information. So I would request council give me the approval. I have it in my supply budget to purchase a new shredder for $1,695.
I can only say 16,000 for a second. Get a barrel out there and burn your stuff. Okay, we get a motion.
Room day.
Motion to approve the 1,600.
16,000, you buy a new car.
Okay, the next one would be to,
Wait a minute, you got a motion, you got a second? You're gonna,
Bob seconded.
Bob seconded.
okay, you want a roll call vote on that?
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Okay, get next.
the next thing would be, what we call it, it's called a decked system, would be for our F-150, to where it's basically like storage trays that are, it's water resistant. We currently have a toolbox on there, but Sergeant Gigic found that it's not user-friendly when we need to get something pretty quick. That is about $1,300, and again, because of the amount, that's the reason I'm requesting the approval from council.
Motion,
So moved.
Second.
roll call.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
All right, so after last council meeting, I found out that people were being brought into the village employees at higher rates than in my office, from clerks to officers. I know you want to go through the finance committee. I went to one. We had one scheduled. It got canceled. Schedules didn't align. So I did a little extra research, and a 24-hour department such as ours, from what I've found, we are the lowest paid in 3 counties, Jefferson, Harrison, and Tuscarawas. Okay? I know we have the American Recovery Act money that's here. I'd like to be a part of that process of that being spent. What was mentioned earlier with the reallocation of money, I respectfully ask to go out of the norm and everybody get a $1.50 an hour raise, and that includes all police department employees and our secretaries. We have secretaries downstairs that have been here for 5 years and not even at the $11 mark.
Part-time?
She's part-time, yes. My full-time clerk just made 13 after 5 years. She started at 11. My officers were starting at $13.50 an hour. So that $1.50 an hour raise that I'm requesting, respectfully, be permanent to where any officer we bring in from here on out be $15 an hour, and our part-time be moved up to 16 because we don't have as many benefits that we have to pay. Prime example, Officer Mcginnis, who we're bringing on auxiliary, who is very possible going to be our next full-time officer, pending everything goes right. I've already been approached by 2 different chiefs that want him, that are trying to lure him because of, and there's a good chance he could go. He wants to be here. We want him here. I want to keep these officers here. In the last 2 years, we've had openings and we've had 2 applicants. I understand it's a nationwide problem. I do. I know we can't pay top dollar. I get it. But we have worked together in the past, but now's the time we have to come together so I can keep the officers that I have and keep this village safe. Thank you.
Well, Chief, while you're standing there, I agree with you 100%. Our officers deserve a good pay, and I have no problem with that. But until we know that we can afford to pay them that, because we don't want to lay nobody off. Once we dish out the money and the benefits to go with that, we want to make sure we retain all those officers that you're talking about. So I'm 100% in supporting that, but as the mayor of this village, in the due diligence of making sure this village don't go into the red, we have to take it to the finance, and you can sit there in the finance with us, and we could go over the numbers, and if it works out that way, I'll be the first one to say, let's give it to them.
Mayor, last council meeting, there was 3 new employees added to the village.
Yes, it was.
Without a finance meeting.
Yes, it was. It was. Do you want to?
And I don't want to go any further.
And I don't want either.
The village, but I will respectfully step away.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Transfer. Any transfer?
Thank you, Chief.
Okay, let's go. Any transfers?
No transfers.
Motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mettern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Meeting is adjourned until November 4th.